Hi, this is Rubbernecker here for Christmas in July. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to show you our new Slimline dies because that's what we use to make the card that we're going to be doing today. So the very first one that we're going to look at is the scallop die, the one piece combined. And it's called one piece combined because it cuts out both the center and the side. And then we've got a solid postage stamp and a scallop with holes, and a bubble scallop, and a slimline decal. So that's our first five. We have five more. It's a slimline OPC with hearts, and it's called an OPC circle dash, an OPC squares, an OPC wavy, and a diagonal. And then the last one is a nested stitch. So we got four pieces in that one. Now, these are the inserts. So this is the second release we've got, and we've got these inserts that go inside. They go inside of the first sets that we released. So these are just have an outline, and you can mix and match these 6 different interiors that we've got here. So a lot of variation with 4 solids and 6 insides. Lots of things you can do. Those are the Slimlines. Let's take a look at what we're going to do today. We're going to be using our new clear set. It's 3321 Winter Bouquet. And this set is really a versatile set. It's great for slimline cards as well as A2s. It's got 29 different stamps in it, and it retails for $24.95. So we're going to get started. I'm going to stamp off 4 or 5 of these images, and then we've already pre-cut the die cuts, but I want to show you how we're doing the stamping. So this is a leaf, and we're going to use our green set from Color Fuse to do this. And I'm going to use the mist, which is green number 1, and the juniper, which comes from the other green set, which is white, yellow green. So we got green number 1 and Y green number 4. And it's got, the Y green has got a nice kind of more of a piney color to it. And that's appropriate for what we're doing today. So we'll be using these 2 colors across all of our greens. Now we got a pine cone, and we're going to stamp 3 parts in the pine cone. We're going to use our brown set. We're going to use mocha number 1, caramel number 2, and cinnamon number 3. And I'm going to stamp mocha a couple times here. And we'll switch to stamp number 2 and get that aligned. They line up very easy. The difficulty I'm having, if you're looking at this, is that I'm not right over the top of it because the camera's in the way. So I'm moving it down to the right corner so I can get over the top of it and get it aligned. And we'll use the caramel on this level, and then the cinnamon on the last one. Like all of our multi-part systems, we'll have an insert in the package that shows you the progressive layering and how you align each stamp in succession. I'm not using that today because it became very apparent to me after stamping them a couple times when they're laid over the top of each other. It's real easy to see what goes where. Now we're going to do one of the berries, and this is a 3-part berry with a 4th part that's the stems and the dots. You'll see what I mean in just a second. We're going to stamp this one using our red set, and we're going to use items number 1, 2, and 4 out of this set. The first one is Posy. It's a very light pink, and we're going to stamp that 2 or 3 times to bring that color up a bit. And we'll switch the stamp out, and we'll stamp with Scarlet number 2. And finally, for the third one, we'll stamp crimson number 4. Now we have something new on our set. We've put numbers and letters. So this particular group of stamps right now would be they're designated as B1 through B4, and that's on the packaging. So you can see which items go together real easily. Say the pine cone that we just did, that one is designated as E1 through E3. And for the stems here, we're going to be using the cinnamon off the brown set. Works really well. We're going to do a couple of the pine boughs now. We have a large and a small. And we're going to be using 2 of the pieces on those. Using the mist for the first layer and the juniper for the second layer. So if we were building this all out of die cuts, we would just take these pieces then and die cut them. And so some of them will be or have been die cut for us when we get ready to assemble. The base of the card that you'll see us start on in a moment will be made with just the greenery, and all the other colors things will be popped up with die cuts. And so now we're going to take the postage stamp Slimline, and we've pre-cut out a piece of white cardstock. We're using 80-pound cougar paper. All of the paper we get comes from the Paper Cut up in Wisconsin. And so that they've got great stuff, and we highly recommend you give them a look if you don't know about them already. So we have a couple of the leaves that we showed you a bit ago. We're going to stamp those real quick in mist, and then juniper on top of it. I've made some marks on the paper for my composition, so that it'll be put in place the way I designed it, and then we'll just erase those later on. This is the insert for the leaf, and we'll stamp it with the juniper. It does not have a precise alignment, just inside the leaf does it. Now we'll do a pine bough. This is the larger of the 2. Now we'll switch to the smaller pine bough, and we'll put that on there twice. With the combination of the Misty and the Color Fuse inks, it's real easy to get lots of shades by restamping in the same position, and really gives you a lot of color variation, far more than, say, the 4 colors, the 4 shades that come in each color pack. And now we're going to do them 2 more on the right-hand corner of this. You're looking at the top, it'll eventually be the right-hand side. And we use both the large and the small on this side. The pine boughs have 3 pieces to them. I'm not using the 3rd piece today, but it gives you the ability to stamp the same pine bough and make it look different using the same colors. The use of either parts 1 and 2 or parts 1 and 3 or parts 1, 2, and 3 with any of these stamps gives you a lot of variety. And that's something we're really working on the new release that we have coming. So now we're going to mask this off because I'm going to stamp some dots across the paper, and I don't want them going across the finished images here. I'm going to erase off the layout lines real quickly, and then we'll mask them. And just a little bit more. Okay. I use double stick tape for this. It's the Scotch tape, and it doesn't get permanent for a little bit, so I can still peel these off. So these are just some die cuts that we had left over, and we die cut out the pine boughs just with the die cut. So we've got a supply of those to lay those on top as well. Okay, so we're ready to get our rubber stamp that we made. This is rubber stamp number 1338. It's called Not So Many Random Dots. And the reason it's called that is we had one that was called Random Dots, and this one had less, so we just called it Not So Many Random Dots. So we're going to ink this up with the three colors out of our red set for color fuse. It's R2, 3, and 4. That's Scarlet, Nectar, and then Crimson. And stamp that on that edge over there, and I probably should have put a piece of masking paper behind it because now I've got it on my table. But we'll do it again and we'll mask the next side. It looks like my table is a piece of granite or marble, but it's not. It's a piece of vinyl, and it works really great as a work surface. Okay, so now we've got our dots. We're going to peel off our mask, and we're going to lay in the die cuts that we previously did and finish this guy up. We have some wonderful backgrounds, this being one of them, that are new to us this year for purposes of doing behind the die cut flowers. And I think you're going to enjoy them a lot. Check those out. So we're going to put some tape from a tape runner on the back of this and adhere it to our card. It's a 3.5 by 8.5 inch top fold slimline card. Again, from the paper cut, in a really bright red, and it looks fantastic for this card. So now we got some pine cones that we've stuck together with some pop-ups, and we're going to place those over on this right-hand side. And a little holly berry. And then we have two more pine boughs that we'll put out to the side. They're not popped up, and I could have stamped them down, but I wanted them to overlap and go outside of the postage stamp die cut, so we opted to put these down as a die cut. And we'll place the small and the large holly berries down on the other side, and a couple of pine cones. We'll lay this one in to cover up the stem so everything looks like it's all together. And now we've got a sentiment that also comes in the set. There's 3 sentiments in the set, and this one says, "May your holidays be merry and bright." And we'll slip that underneath the pine cones to tie these together. And it'll give us a nice finished card. You can open it up and put a sentiment on the inside, and off you go. See if I can pick this up so you can get a good close look at it. It's a great set, works fantastic with the Slimlines or with A2s because it's a lot of pieces that you can build something with. Now let me show you a couple of the Slimlines that Kitty Carrazziello, who works with us, did. She's just recently sent us 3 of these. These have our new die cut sets on them. So the first one down at the bottom is on the deckled Slimline, and it's got our new cooler and our camping set, some of her traditional flowers. The middle one utilizes 2 of the new bee sets, and it's really a cute, that works on the 1-piece combined. And this one's on the postage stamp set, a nice beach scene with the beach bag and palm trees. And that's what we have for you. I hope you've enjoyed it.